Again, we're still aiming toward an 8:31 a.m. liftoff. We have no constraints with the shuttle or weather-wise. Picking up now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. T-minus 20 minutes and counting. Purge of Discovery's 3 fuel cells is now underway. The data processing system engineer has confirmed that the onboard computers are in the process of making the transition to the terminal countdown configuration. We do have 3 COLAs today during the period, which extends from 8:31 to 2:43. There would be a collision avoidance quotient that would begin at 8:58:30 this morning and run for 1 minute. There would be another one at 10:32 this morning, which would last for 5.5 minutes, and another one at 12:12 this afternoon, which would last for 1 minute. That last one, however, would be academic in light of the fact that the crew time in the cockpit of Discovery would expire at 11 a.m. All activity continues on schedule as we proceed toward the next hold at T-minus 9 minutes. The primary ascent software is now in the Ops 101 mode, which is the primary launch program, and Commander Schreiber will now configure the backup flight system computer to match that configuration. T-minus 18 minutes, 20 seconds and counting.
NTD-STM 212. Go ahead, STM. Step 916. Will that be performed or not performed, sir?
That's not performed.
Copy. OTC, CDR, at PFS is an Ops 1, no unexpected messages.
Copy that, thank you. And CLT, OTC.
Go ahead, Sam.
Okay, configure pass and VFS horizontal sit displays per your checklist, please.
Commander Schreiber has reported that the backup flight system is now in the proper mode. And we just saw astronaut Dan Brandenstein flying the shuttle training aircraft, doing the weather reconnaissance and assessing the conditions at the shuttle landing facility in the event of a return to launch site abort. He's reporting that data to support astronaut Ken Reichler and astronaut Jim Weatherby here in the firing room. T-minus 17 minutes and counting.
Go ahead.
The BFS pre-flight uplink load is complete.
Copy. CVFS.
CVFS copies.
Dumping of the Ops 101 program stored in the memory of one of the 4 redundant general purpose computers is now underway. That will take about 7 minutes to complete. Engineers will be examining that data for anything that would miscompare.
Go ahead, PLT.
Okay, horizontal fit. Yeah, Stan, horizontal fit config is complete, and we verified the OHM's interconnect config is also verified.
Okay, copy that.
Pilot Charlie Bolden has been in the process of configuring the cockpit switches for launch, and he's reporting that most of that configuration is complete. The airframe engineer is checking all of the critical movable aerosurface driver currents and is positioning all the hydraulic systems for activation.
NTD-SRO, go ahead, sir. 969, KFC area is clear for launch. Roger, copy.
OTC PLT, MPS helium reconfig is complete.
Copy that. MPS, OTC.
MPS, go.
Okay, you verify 945, 946.
Verified.
And 47?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Copy that. Double OS. Go ahead. Okay, configuring OHM's RCS cross feed for flight. At this time, yes. Copy.
Pilot Charlie Bolden has reported that the helium system reconfiguration has been completed. This opens helium isolation valves necessary for the in-flight purges of the engines.
Checking, sir.
Water levels in the water spray boilers are now being checked, and they are being verified to be sufficient for the mission. The NASA test director has asked Houston Flight to send their pre-flight uplink command to the orbiter's backup flight system. These loads are sent from the Mila tracking station here at KSC and put the fifth general purpose computer in the proper configuration for launch.
NTDSO 212. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Page 813, step 0965, normal track. Copy.
Configuration of the cross-feed valves between the orbital maneuvering system and the reaction control system propellant tanks is being performed. The orbiter test conductor has asked pilot Charlie Bolden to report the quantities in the reaction control system propellant tanks. Meanwhile, the booster test conductor has been asked to start the gaseous nitrogen purge of the aft skirts. This flow of inert gas ensures that no explosive or flammable gases can accumulate in the bottom of the solid rocket boosters prior to their ignition. We're at the point now where all non-essential personnel are being cleared from the launch danger area. The white room has been closed out for flight, and the closeout crew has departed back to the roadblock.
MTD-STM-212. Step 986, sir. Copy. And FCP OTC here to ground 1. FCP? Yeah. Your fuel cell purge complete? Will be shortly. Copy. Countdown clock will hold at T-minus 9 minutes and 4 minutes. OTC, CFCP. Go ahead. Our fuel cell purge is complete and we're ready for fuel cell load adjustment. Okay, EPD and ECL and FCP, adjust your fuel cell loads for the Ds. EPD copy. FCP copies.
ECL copies. OTC, CVFS.
Go ahead.
T-minus 20 minutes, CPC dump is complete.
Copy that. CMQC, it's 979. Copy 979.
T-minus 12 minutes and counting, we've received word from White Sands that the weather reconnaissance aircraft there has advised that with the wind that they're seeing, there is still ample margin out there to cover any contingency in the event that we should have an abort once around. He has reported his observations to the chairman of the mission management team, Brewster Shaw, and Brewster has determined that weather at White Sands is go for launch. We've also received a verification that all of the contingency support is ready and that the aircraft and emergency teams are on station to support the launch today.
Copy that.
The T-minus 20-minute dump of the orbiter general purpose computer memory has been completed. We have no unexpected errors in that report. Now T-minus 11 minutes and counting.
Load adjust is complete. Copy that. ECL. ECL OTC.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can you agree with fuel cell EPD?
That's affirmative.
Copy. All personnel on channel 212, this OTC. Discontinue all non-mandatory LDB traffic for remainder of count.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting. About 1 minute now from the last planned built-in hold in the STS-31 launch countdown this morning. The flow rate of the conditioned air fed into the orbiter's payload bay is being reduced and will be verified at about 180 pounds per minute, which is the figure desired for launch. Standing by now to go into the hold at T-minus 9, 3, 2, 1, T-minus 9 minutes and holding for 10 minutes.